Punching your face is not a good start to it. We'll start off with proceedings with thanking Boris Johnson and his government for meaning that I got paid, or will get paid tomorrow as part of this furlough scheme. Is it down to Boris? Probably not. Is it down to the government? I don't know. I don't care anymore. Politics doesn't matter at a time like this. Or does it? You only have to look at what's going on in America to see that. It's fairly dark day. No, only now that it's getting darker, is it? Getting brighter, so to speak. It's been grey skies. Some suggestion that the rest of the year is now a write-off as far as the country's concerned. Apart from your sporting offence, the virus could come back next February, so that'd be interesting. I don't think modern societies have what it takes to deal with it properly. I'm sure every time we've had a pandemic in our history, as a world anyway, there's been ways of getting, you deal with it, I'd have thought. 1919 must have been fairly awful. More men were killed by it than in this country than the First World War did. Killed men. Everyone was affected, and the Great Plague of 1665 and the bubonic plague of 1345, which seriously reduced Europe's population. It must have been awful, but you live your life, and then 1347 rolls around. I don't really deal with medieval history, but you're not helped by social media and everything else, and celebrities and whatnot. Like Private Eye. Probably going to get into trouble for Corona. Like the true focus, who thinks of a celebrity in this world, I don't know, I see the names, they are, who will think of celebrities, and they've taken like little headlines, so like, Danny Dyer is devastated when she goes to the supermarket to, quote, panic buy, end quote, toilet roll and pasta, but discover the shelves are capital letters empty from the Mail Online. So that's the Mail Online. And something about Amanda Holden flashing her legs in the office empty because she works at Heart Radio, and Love Island, a series at risk amid coronavirus, and talk show hosts doing their stuff from home and stuff like that. And people wonder why I take some kind of refuge in history. Because, during the Second World War, you weren't being bombarded necessarily with selfies and the like, and fake tans and whatnot, and anything else. And it wasn't a perfect time, but times change and we have to change with it. It's increasingly hard though. It's all ran down the websites like the BBC saying what you do if you have mental health problems in coronavirus. You don't read the news. The news stories don't add to my anxiety of that. Even reading in the Private Eye that Private Health England said, 80% of us could get this virus, and 80% is a pretty big number when you consider how big the population of this country is nowadays. So 80% aren't going to die, I'd imagine. If it is, that means I could probably get a seat on the Underground at rush hour, but... And this isn't even the worst virus that could hit. I've always thought about the end of the world scenarios and stuff. I used to be fixated by Yellowstone volcano and asteroid impacts and stuff like that, and pandemics was one, and I read in a Tom Clancy book, which he usually did his research out, Iran in his first ever Jack Ryan's president book, unleash Ebola in the United States, and I think ultimately it kills 1 million people. And Ebola is an utterly horrific disease that is whipping through Africa as I speak. And indeed, as Anderson Cooper said on CNN, I think yesterday or during the night anyway, 6 million people have died in Africa with no bad eyelid, and indeed as the eyes there, because I only got around reading the bloody thing 3 weeks after buying it. That millions of people die in Africa probably every year, and no one pays any attention to it because holidays aren't affected and all that we are worried about here in the West or the capitalistic world. I'm not a socialist or anything. I'm not left-leaning in any stretch of the imagination. I have my liberal moments. I used to be a lot worse at college, in terms of my thoughts and political thoughts. I guess when you're young you think you know stuff, but it's always very easy to be told to press on when the mindset is that there's no need to. And if this isolation business carries on for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months, you do what you can, I suppose. I have to seriously think about finding a way to get some company in the flat, be it a cat or at the very least a cardboard box with a smiley face on it. Go all Tom Hanks and Castaway. I know he had a ball, but I don't have any balls to hand. So you do your best. I was told I have a very strong sense of honour and what is right, but then it's my idea of what I think is right. I'm not saying it's the way to think. I don't think there is a right way for anything. When somebody disagrees with your opinion with absolute conviction, fair enough, but how is their opinion correct? There are, of course, certain opinions that are downright wrong, racial ones and anything to do with sex and gender and that, but freedom of speech is unimportant in this video. And today I'm sporting the first ever Portsmouth shirt I bought when I was down looking at the university in 2004. We had a nicer sponsor than what we got when we were out of work. Job site. I was once in a Starbucks with my late friend, and I was wearing the away shirt, which is sort of purplish navy blue, and this Australian woman poked me in the chest quite hard, and I went, ugh. She went, what's that? And I go, what's what? Slightly annoyed that she had done that, and she was after that. I said, well, this is a Portsmouth shirt. She goes, what's that? I go, it's a football team. Oh, well, I just saw the Beanie Baby logo and all this stuff, and my friend, dear old Mark, said, you're in there, Matt. And I went, no, I'm not. She poked me in the chest. Muggins, who was more concerned that I'd been slightly hurt than anything else. So I'm going to try a different editing process. I downloaded some free program from Microsoft that looked a pile of shit. And, the Charles I picture, if I've managed to include it, is because somebody at work said I'm going for a cavalier approach with my hair. I've always wanted to try and grow it out because I'm fed up with very short haircuts, but we'll see what happens. Bring back our martyred King of England. On a passing note, because I've already managed to use up 9 minutes very shortly of my time, with all the people out of work because of coronavirus, how are prostitutes getting by at the moment? Let's have a think about that. Answers on a postcard. And Buckingham Palace Road,